Girl, it's so much going on.
Well, let's kick it off with Empire.
Kick it off with Empire. Empire. Jussie Smollett is going to star alongside his sister in a new show called Underground.
Smollett. Empire actors, slow down. We already got Taraji P. Henson up in the hospital.
Got Cookie in the hospital.
Is she exhausted? They didn't say. She tweeted out a picture.
She just said she was all right.
It looked like an IV
in her arm. Yep.
The Empire actors are doing. I know they're hot right now.
They are, and they're taking full advantage of the hotness.
For season 2, though.
They're taking advantage of the heat.
I know, but we got season 2 to do. We want them to do a good job.
They're already filming season 2 though, because they released those photos from the set.
Yes.
Chris Rock in the Prison Orange.
Oh yeah.
Hanging out with Lucius.
That's gonna be good. Ooh, that's
right. It's intriguing because I never expected Chris Rock to play an actual character.
That's good. Well, I mean, and you're right. You're right. I mean, maybe they have a lot of energy. It just seems like they're doing a lot with Taraji P. Henson, who plays Cookie on the show. She's laid up with an IV in her arm, talking about, I need to get off my feet. She probably was exhausted. Maybe,
okay, breaking news right here.
Okay.
The publicist for
you got some breaking news?
The publicist for the woman who plays Veronica Harrington on The Have and Have Not.
Yes.
I pinged her, asking her to maybe talk to her while she's in town this weekend for Cheryl Smith's Celebrity Bowler-thon. Yes. Wouldn't that be something that we could get Veronica Harrington herself in there?
The Have and Have Not starts up, I want to say the 30th of this month.
Yeah, I think
it's going to be. I know it's at the end of this month. I think that is a Tuesday.
But the actress's name is Angela Robinson, and she is in town this weekend for Cheryl Smith's Celebrity Bowler-thon. I think it's like the 21st annual.
Because the way that ended, they had her ending like this crazy hoochie.
I know, and so we need to talk to her and find out what's that all about. But I mean, other than that, you said we have nots coming back, so we're happy about that. There's a new show on HBO called Ballers. It stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as a former football player.
Girl.
I know.
That's good to hear.
It's nice. How about they got it so you can watch the first show on his Facebook page?
Ooh,
like really? You don't need to have HBO.
Is it already on there?
Yes, it's on there.
Oh, I must check that out.
You have to check it out.
I like him. He came to a Dallas school before and talked to the kids. It was really
He's just very, he seems to be very aware of, he's very self-aware.
He really
and
is.
And really
he's
good with kids.
Too.
Yes.
Well, girl.
So, and NBC, I noticed NBC has a full color lineup for the fall. Like they've got a lot of shows starring people of color. And it's really interesting. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. But it's really going to be not news. But it makes it really interesting because we're in the middle of this Confederate flag flap.
Oh, I know.
Which is not new. It's not new. People have been railing against these flags for years.
It's interesting because this gunman that killed 9 people in this church in South Carolina, he wanted to start a race war, but it really backfired on him because now we have people wanting to take the flag down, wanting to take
people who have traditionally been for keeping those flags. Although I have a theory about that. I have a theory about that.
What?
The people who were on the side of keeping the flags for pride and history are suddenly doing an about face. I need you to bring it down. Right. Now, my theory is that before they could always say that flag stood for pride and history, but now because you've got photos of Dylan Roof around holding up this flag now means murder. It now means what it has meant to so many Black Americans for so many years. And while you can stand for states' rights and you can try to stand for pride and history, you cannot stand for murder, no matter what your political affiliation.
The people that felt like it wasn't about, this flag's not about slavery, it's about, our heritage and people relatives who fought in this war. I think even now they're realizing maybe it's time.
Right. Maybe it's just time. It's gone its course. And that flag, you can talk about states' rights all you want. The states, they were trying to get the right to keep people like me as slaves. So it still boils down to that. Right. I can't even make fun of it anymore. I just wanted to.
But it is hot right now. Now let's talk about our president, Obama.
Yes.
And the N-word.
Oh my goodness. In the middle of the Confederate flag flap. But he brought a point home and it got attention. Right.
So people are talking.
It got attention. I think if the only thing you're upset about is that he said the N-word, then you missed the point entirely.
Right.
I mean, come on now. You laughed when Chris Rock made the joke about there are Black people and then there are N-words, but now your president says it.
And then it's like, oh my
And
God.
it's like, oh my goodness. But he was proving a point, and he was speaking the language
that
people
point
speak.
home, and people, that speech would have probably fell by the wayside. But people are playing it over and over.
But you know, he's getting his swag, giving his swag some double duty these days because he doesn't have any more elections to win.
He does, and then he had a big coup today with the Affordable Care
Act.
So he's riding the high.
And he shouted the heckler down. He's like, "Wait a minute, you in my house." And I don't know about y'all, but I feel the same way. You in my house and gonna talk to me like that?
Obama really.
You better get to stepping.
He's coming out, boy.
I think every president who's in the second term ought to just go wheels off.
He's going wheels off.
Let everybody have it that needs to have be mad at everybody.
He's
say what needs to be said because you don't need to win any more elections.
Yeah, but that surprised a lot of people when he used the N-word, and it was just like, oh, the president. And I think maybe so many people were surprised because it's such a taboo to use that word.
Right.
And to hear the president use it, it's like, why can he use it? I can't.
And the point he was making was that is that racism goes much further than just whether or not you can use that word in conversation.
Just because you don't use that word doesn't mean racism is a race.
Right. Just like this flag, the topic should be about the victims and of what happened, but it's like I feel like I'm in a magic show. Somebody's waving something over here to distract me from the real issue over here.
Don't worry about those 9 people. What about
this? What about this flag waving?
It is distracting. I know people have tried to tell people let's not lose sight of everything.
But people are gonna talk. You know, people who have been hurt by this flag. Let's give them a time to be happy about this.
I'm from up north, so we didn't see the flag a lot.
I'm from Georgia. I live the flag. I'm just saying. And Don Lemon, bless his heart, brother man. I'm seeing him
at it right now because he's defending the president, right?
But then he's doing provocative stunts like holding up the N-word on a big poster saying, "Does this word offend you?"
Boy, he's been saying it too.
Right. And then on his show, he's co-signing on someone saying that President Obama should apologize for the nation for slavery. Didn't Congress do that a few years ago, like in 2002?
Like that's when they were talking about reparations or something.
So it's like, Don, listen to your producers. I know they're doing.
Listen to Don anyway, Don.
I know they're doing some research for you, but do your own. Read it for yourself.
Well, let's talk about some local stuff too.
Yeah.
The Dallas ISD superintendent resigned.
Yes.
So they'll be meeting on Friday to talk about, naming an interim. And so that's going to be interesting to see what they get next.
I hope it doesn't break out at a party. You think somebody's going to bring cake?
He has some supporters, but then he had some opponents
right
too. And those opponents we're hearing from him because they're very happy right now.
I can see John Wiley Price showing up with
did you see his comment?
With a banner and a marching band, because what did he say?
He was
God
not
is
a
good.
fan of the superintendent at all.
He heard the superintendent resign and he said God is good
and
all the time.
It set the district back 40 years.
Right. And I'm thinking, how you gonna say somebody send them back 40 years and you got cornrows?
Wait a minute.
I'm just
saying.
Really,
I didn't say that. That was Don.
I'm just saying. You stepping back a couple of years yourself.
Some people say he meant well.
So he did. He does mean well. I think he likes his hair. I mean, I ain't mad. I like mine too.
The other side of the gate is the Highland Park IC superintendent.
God! Yes.
What did they agree? This
$325,000.
Wow! And Mike Miles in Dallas was making $306,000.
With what? 5 times the amount of students?
Yeah, and less headache.
And the school district in Highland Park owns a house because they want their superintendent to live in their school district.
It's very expensive.
He told them he didn't want that house. He wanted another one. So they're giving him $1.3 million. Wow.
And
to get a house in the district.
Okay with all that.
I guess so. My thing is he doesn't have.
Wow.
Basically, is he there to keep the parents happy? And I don't think it's a coincidence that Mike Miles resigned after seeing that man's salary and the extra money he got.
He's trying to get back to his family.
But I'd be a little salty too if I looked across the way and somebody.
Okay, girl, we gotta talk about something else because I want to talk about. And I'm kind of jumping here.
Yeah,
I did want to touch on New York escapees because apparently they believe they have guns and they believe they might be injured.
Because they found soiled underwear in the cabin. Oh. That's how they knew it was them.
Well, yeah, and then they tested it, right?
Yes,
DNA match up. But then there's this prison guard
charge. Keep on your drawers.
Well, maybe somebody came up on them and they had to get out of Dodge.
But why you leave your drawers?
The parents should take that.
I don't understand. You take the guns, but you left your drawers. You going commando
in the
now?
middle of taking a bath? Maybe, I don't know.
They're literally going commando.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
But, so this prison guard has been charged too.
Yeah.
And they say he might have inadvertently helped. So we'll see.
Was he the one that delivered?
I think he delivered the meat.
He delivered the meat that had the tools in it.
Exactly.
I want to know how much hamburger meat that was to hide power tools.
You know what? It was more than a pound.
It wasn't,
I bet you.
Was it the whole cow? I mean, what kind of power tools are we talking about?
To check that, but they said it was frozen, so maybe he just.
So okay, I'm still confused about this woman's husband.
Oh yeah.
Like, how do you deal with her having to look at her now that you know that she had actually talked to somebody about killing you?
Ooh, that's touchy.
I mean,
he seems pretty devastated.
I'm waiting for the snapped episode. I need the snapped episode.
Well, let's do a little trash talking.
Cause okay, Diddy, P Diddy. I'm gonna call you Pussy.
Sean Combs, also known as Diddy, got arrested for. I guess he showed up at this UCLA athletic training complex.
Because his son plays football there on a scholarship.
But he allegedly swung a kettlebell or something.
A kettlebell.
And it looks like they got him for 3 counts of assault with a deadly weapon.
Right.
3?
Right.
Maybe he swung it 3 times.
And it was like, they say his target was the strength and conditioning coach, but it actually hit an intern or something like that.
Oh my God.
The details are sketchy, but his company, the rep, has come out and said that he was defending himself. My thing is, why are you up in the locker room? That's not a good look.
Well, no, we do have parents that sometimes they go overboard.
They do
with being
when it's
involved
their
with
children.
their children.
I mean,
some of them Little League games are ferocious.
I'm a helicopter parent too. I mean, I make that sound sometimes so the teacher know I'm coming. I'm walking in the room
some
like
of these parents, man, they kind of dangerous.
But that's above and beyond.
Then they got him 1 count of making terrorist threats and 1 count of battery.
Okay. Here's why. Okay, we can't call what Dylan Roof did terrorism, but we can charge Puffy with terroristic threats. Okay, that in a nutshell is what is wrong with America right now.
Well, we're gonna see how. I'm sure Diddy he's lawyered up, of course.
Of course.
We'll see how they do.
Because he only had to stay in jail for a hot minute because they said his bail was kind of low.
Did you want to do Northwest?
Yeah, I just,
This is Kanye and Kim Kardashian.
Kanye West and Kim Kardashian's daughter, Northwest. Somebody decided they were going to write.
Vogue. Somebody on Vogue.
Right. Somebody decided they were going to say that she was starting a natural hair revolution.
What is she, all of 2?
She's 2 years old. And how you gonna say?
This revolution been started longer than that,
Thank
folks.
you. And how you gonna say she? Even if you specify and say she's targeting it for kids.
Right.
I'm sorry, little black children been walking around wild and free, wild and free for years.
They tried to find a hook, I guess, with natural hair.
That's not the hook. And and then we got speaking of hair. Hairy armpits making a comeback.
Oh yeah, I saw.
And people are dying now?
Yeah, they said it's blue and pink, and some people get bored.
But okay, that's what it is.
And the dye deal, like what they walking with their arm up,
right? Too much free time. I mean, are they going into yoga moves in the middle of conversation to show off their armpits? Ouch, that really hurt. I keep forgetting that I hurt myself. Ouch.
You okay?
Girl, I'm not. I'm never okay.
Well, since you hurt, let's talk about the free bleeding movement.
Oh, ew.
What a good segue.
All right. Doug, do not add a picture of the free bleeding.
We usually do put pictures with this show, but there is something now called the free bleeding movement.
Free bleeding.
And it's not wearing tampons
or
a maxi pad. Because these people that believe that bleeding is natural and using man-made products is wrong. And then they also said one side compared using a tampon to being raped.
Right. Really?
And then they show pictures with somebody laying on the beach and blood just going into the water. And
this is the definition of doing too much. They are reaching too far. They are bored. It's too much free time.
Let's not take this women's lib thing too far because, I mean, it's just bad though.
It's a bad
it feels
look.
like being raped by using a man-made product.
But I'm not. My eyes aren't being raped by watching you walk along the street with your legs and thighs all bloody.
Well, they're gonna be sitting at work and
yes. It's like, come on.
But
cross your legs.
If you Google the free bleeding movement,
you will
find just free bleeding, and you'll see all kind of stuff.
Free bleeding.
There's free bleeders out there. I'm calling them free bleeders.
What are they doing, free bleeders? What are they doing? Like you say, I think they're just bored, and it's too much free time.
Go get another job. Take a
right.
class.
That doesn't liberate me. You want to liberate somebody? Go down and volunteer at the shelter.
That's a hygiene issue.
It's a hygiene issue.
Blood here.
Yeah, we're talking about uterine blood. We're not talking about just bleeding from a cut.
Going on too. What about these condoms that have been created to change color based on STD?
You know what? It's a warning for everybody. It's a warning for everybody.
For gonorrhea. I mean, it's crazy. So after you have sex, let me look at the color of that condom. Oh my God, yellow syphilis. I mean, what?
What they need to have is one that if it gets within 3 feet, it lights up a different color. Like red light, yellow light, green light. You get the green light, it's all okay.
That's after the fact.
I know, that's after the fact. Doesn't help me.
Killed.
After the fact doesn't help me. That's why it's still in development. Thank you. Jesus.
Well, they need to. That's not a good idea. Let's find something before the fact.
This whole week has been.
How about just going in for a test?
This whole week might as well have been labeled Jesus be offense.
I know, girl.
Because all of it is just, my mouth has just been on the floor the entire week.
And we're not even done with the week. Today is
Thursday. Today is Thursday.
And we got tomorrow to go.
And we still got tomorrow to go. I wonder if they'll let us come back in here and do some more chatting. Because we got to go right now. Because you got a story that you got to write.
I do need to work on that.
All right.
All right. I'll talk to you later, girl.
Yes, ma'am.